All right, so this is the butter lettuce. It's trying its best to grow in this bit of heat. It's been like 80s, 90s. It's gonna be 100, like I said, next week. This week, this coming few days here. We've got another one growing right there very nicely. As you can see, I grew some seeds here, but there is a culprit somewhere in there and it's eating it. Grew more seeds here as well. There's probably beetles eating them in there. But there is the red bell peppers I grew from seed, and I got those seeds actually from bell peppers that were from the store. Got more broccoli raw there trying its best. Another okra. This is the cinnamon Thai basil, and it tastes amazing. We made lop one day and I added this guy in it. It smells so good. Man, that's awesome. Very tasty. Great addition into soups and salads and stuff like that. So that is the very last raised bed that we built. As you can see, the tops are not set yet with these little corners here. Got somebody coming to help us with that, because that is definitely something that needs a lot more skill than what me and my husband offers. Moving on this way here, we've got a jungle of Swiss chard. This is the raised bed that had the loofahs in them last year. If you guys look onto my Facebook page, there's videos of me and my family harvesting from there. And we are growing loofahs in here again this year. Although the Swiss chard is taking over the area, but my babies, I'll show you guys in a minute here, it's doing well still. This here is a mammoth sunflower, which it seems like he's coming up soon, or possibly growing more leaves. Who knows? This is my first time growing him. But I've got a few in the rest of the garden, and a few more growing in the rest of the garden, and this guy has gotten crazy big compared to those guys. I'll show you here. We've got loofah there trying to grow, and a loofah there trying to grow. Now, like I said, they're trying to grow, but they're definitely having such a hard time with the Swiss chard taking over their sun. So they're trying to do their best. However, if you look further on, you'll see this guy is growing, and that's my baby. First baby out of the 18, I think, that I had. Some grew, which is mostly on this raised bed, and most of them died. But this is one of the 18 that has grown well. First one that has touched the trellis. So I'm really looking forward onto that. These guys get really, really tall, or really, really long, I should say. I wouldn't say tall, because they grow on their vines and they grow up onto this trellis. They get about 30 feet long. And so besides that guy doing well, I've got another guy down here trying his best. We may just, like I said, we just came back from our camping trip. We may just go ahead and eat some Swiss chard this evening. But there's another guy, another two guys actually, trying to do the best that they can to grow. And this one's trying its best to reach that trellis, which I allow for them to do that all on their own. Let nature be nature, right? These two are another set out of the three that I've had. I think 3 or 4, I can't remember, of the red bell peppers, which is my first year growing them. I've noticed that I definitely did seed those too late. So we will work harder on it next year. We've got cilantro growing here, and I have, as you can see, It's still tiny, but it's not because it's not growing, you guys, I promise. We eat these and we eat them regularly. We had the lop the other day. I added some cilantro and lop. That one's not doing as much as this one, but I promise you they're growing. There's this crazy invasive plant that's killing me, keeps growing back. Don't get me wrong, I love plants, you guys. I just don't know what this is, and I have veggies growing here, but so I don't want this guy. If you know what that is, leave me a comment down below. I appreciate it. I'm assuming though that it's coming from there. That's one of my neighbor's plants. All right, let's move over to this side here. So we've got our golden raspberries that I planted mid-March. They almost died. You could see a little death in there, but they grew back. They're just trying to spread their roots. You can see just a bit of info on them there. The fall gold ever-bearing raspberry. I've got some elephant ears here, which my kids are already fully aware that if they touch that and it leaves sap on them, they'll get burnt. So they try to stay away from this area. Canna lily is doing well. Got some beautiful flowers about to sprout out, which I will actually cut out for my mother-in-law because she loves them. Roses. And here we've got my nectarine tree. If you look all around it, it just looks like leaves. But if you look right underneath there, beyond the leaves, oh my God, look how big it is. There's big fruits. This guy has been in the ground here at this house going on a 3rd season now, and every season it's getting bigger and bigger fruits. Some of these guys here are kind of put together. This year, or this season I should say, I did not thin them, and I know most people will recommend unthinning them. I've thinned them the past 2 seasons that we've had. The first 2 seasons that we had, I thinned them out. But this year I didn't. I just allowed nature to thin them as they need to, which most fruit trees or trees in general will do for themselves because they know what they can bear and what they can handle. So I allowed them to thin themselves, but you can see they're doing amazing. The fruits are big. Mind you, these fruits were like half the size last year, and they're much bigger this year, and they're not even ready yet. I might thin this guy out later. You know, and I'll thin him out now because he's not giving these guys any room. But you can see here, like I said, it's self-thinning. My mother-in-law grabbed one of these the other day out here, brought it inside. She was so sad, and my little baby Jaden decided he was going to eat it, and he ate it, and he said it was really nice and sweet. Not as sweet as it should be. This is Snow Queen nectarine, but he said it was still delicious. Here's a tomato I got from one of our best friends. Thank you, Sandra. I love you. If you're watching this, your tomato's growing. I don't know what kind of tomato it is. She doesn't know either. If you know, leave me a comment, please. Got more aloe vera sitting in pots there. This is another hibiscus roselle. This one is Roma tomato. And it's, like I said, sitting right underneath this big nectarine tree here. And this is, right now, it's about 6 o'clock in the evening, and this is the most sun that it gets at this time. Got my blue girl, deadheaded all of the flowers that came out of this beautiful baby, and they smelled so amazing, nice and citrusy, and now they're growing more stems, as you can see. So we're looking forward to more flowers, which probably won't come anytime soon since it's hot. It's okay, he needs to grow more stems anyway. And here we've got our blackberry. Had this on one of my videos. We grew some blackberry and something else that I put into the ground. But he's doing great. Got some fruits, as you can see there. So we're hopeful for more fruits, but you know what? If he needs to grow more roots down there before the fruits, that's okay. RhitznRoots will wait. All right, this raised bed was built with the other raised bed I'll show you here in a little bit. But as you can see here, it's got this Asian pear tree that's looking amazing. It's got a lot of fruits if you look closer, and they're growing really big. Compare it to this guy here. It's my comparison right now. There's my fingers. My finger's about almost 2 inches, and it's, as you can see there, looking really great. And you look up even higher, and there's more fruits up there. This is its second season growing with us, and more likely during the winter time I might just cut that top there, make it shorter so it's easier for us to grab the fruits next year, and as well it gives it an opportunity to grow his trunk there. Moving forward, here is our artichoke. I'm not very good at artichoke. I thought this guy died last year. Come springtime, once it started getting a little bit warmer, he decided to sprout back up. Now, we were all so surprised. This is fruit number 2 and 3. The very first one was there. And I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, the very first one was there. Cut him off, thought that we would be able to eat him, and we could not, because I didn't realize that it was already starting to open. So I'm just gonna allow these guys to become beautiful and sprout that beautiful, or bloom that beautiful purple flower that it does. Keep you guys posted on that. Aloe vera's there. These are where the pups of the other one, this is where the pups came from. We've got our pandan put into the ground. I initially didn't want to put them into the ground, considering we do have pretty cold winters, but I'm just gonna have to, I mean, our winters aren't really cold, but I'm just gonna have to work a little bit harder this winter to keep those warm. They can't take any temperatures lower than, I believe it's 45 degrees Fahrenheit. Got our hibiscus roselle growing there. We'll see what happens to him this winter. And I've got some lilies growing there, dying off for the summer. They'll come back in the maybe the fall or spring. Roma tomatoes growing really well over here. These came in the 6-pack. The one that you guys seen earlier, we're part of that 6-pack, and it's growing really well. As you can see here, canna lilies, beautiful flowers. And here we had a compost pile. We do trench composting every now and then, depending on, you know, how much compost we've got sitting around, or if it's too much compost, we do trench composting. So my kids will dig a hole, and then we'll put the compost pile in, lasagna style, with some grass, like plant clippings, newspaper, and suddenly we've got this avocado that decided to grow. We did not know it was there. But it's doing okay, so we'll see him in 9 years and hopefully give us some fruit. We'll see. Roma tomatoes sitting here. I'm gonna be tying off some gardening rope here so that this guys could stand up and thrive with those tomatoes on them. Here's our Bear's Lime. Got this guy from Walmart for about $5. Put him into the ground. We've had him, oh my goodness, going on 3 years now in this ground for 3 seasons. And this is the first year it decided to bloom and hang on to its roots. It is still very tiny, and as I mentioned to you guys, nature does want to run its own course most of the time, regardless of what you do with your plants. And you never know. Hopefully he feels ready to hang on to their fruits, but you know, we'll let him do his thing. Got our other blackberry plant here. Still just growing foliage, which is okay. More Roma tomatoes growing, same thing. I'm gonna be tying a rope around him to kind of spiral up onto this bamboo stick. Now here, right next to that tomato guy, is our pineapple guava. So it's looking really good. This guy has been transferred 2 different times when it arrived to my house. We initially had it in the front of the house, didn't like it there, and then we eventually moved in here. So this is the second season he's in this section. The first year we had him, we had a lot of fruits. And as you can see, these beautiful flowers, try to show you guys. They typically look better than this. As you can see, the flowers are drying out, but normally they have really pretty pink flowers with like a pink, light pink petals that you can eat, which I have been banned to eat this year so that we can have more fruits, because my husband is trying it out to see if maybe we can have more fruits if me and my baby Jaden don't eat up all the fruits or all the flowers. So keep you guys posted on that. They do taste delicious. They're like vanilla cream. Oh man, it's just so good. I can't even, it's really good. Anyways, moving on to another mama aloe vera, which these baby aloe veras came from. Had to give it some space, so I grabbed all of the pups from that guy and spread them around. So there's some there, there's some down there. They're doing okay. It took a while, as you can see here. That guy's starting to turn green, so that is definitely a good sign that it's got some roots and doing well. Eventually he'll turn into that guy. So here we've got our white sapote. I'll show you guys a picture here of the before, but this is my white sapote, bought from Lowe's. Looked like a twig, thought it was gonna die, decided let's take a chance. I had a few leaves on it, bought him for $5, and this is his 3rd season growing here in this area. It had some flowers here that I was like looking forward to hopefully growing into fruit, but again, Mother Nature has its own ideas, and you know what? That's okay. He needs to grow strong and healthy. Got some zucchini growing here. This guy's given us like 5 zucchinis already. Hopefully that'll be okay. It's turning yellow. I don't know. But it's been doing well. I've got volunteer plants. Every now and then you can see there, I believe that's probably a watermelon. We'll see. And here we've got our fig. This is such a beautiful fig. It's got green. So this is the, I forget what kind of fig it is. But the fruit, it's a green fig, stays green throughout its whole time. It grows pretty big, probably similar to this size here if it does well. And then it'll turn into a lime green, and it'll be kind of squishy once it's ready. That's how you know. But once you cut into it, the middle is like a beautiful pink, and it tastes like cotton candy. It's so delicious. I'll leave you guys more information on the description if you're looking to find out what type of fig this is. I just can't think of it the top of my head. Got another aloe vera baby doing great, turning green. Got the Thai peppers there. You can see here there's watermelons growing. I don't know where they came from, but if it's the birds, thanks birds. Roma tomatoes, hopefully turning red pretty soon here. Here we've got the Dancing Mandarin. Insane thing. I bought this guy the same time as that Bear's Lime, also at Walmart. And the fruits just keep falling off. This year, however, these same fruits have been there. So we've got, I see like 6, 7 fruits. Looking forward to that. Got another zucchini here. Every morning I come out to check on these zucchinis, see if there's anything growing like this one, for example. So that is a female zucchini, or a female flower, shall I say. And it hasn't opened yet, as you can see. More likely it'll open in the morning, but I come out here every morning to check and see if there's any female and male flowers. So we've got here the female zucchini flower, which is actually going to turn into a zucchini, and there's the male one, as you can see there. So more likely they kind of grow hand in hand majority of the time. So when they open, I'll take this guy, rip its flowers off, and then I'll leave the stamen that's in the middle and just shove him into this girl. Sorry, sounds dirty. But yeah, then I'll use that to pollinate that one to turn into a zucchini. A little bit of a zucchini info there for you guys. And this is my Meyer lemon, looking great. This is my husband's favorite lemon. He can make cocktails out of this, which we made limoncello last December. Hopefully I can get a video together for you guys on that one. You can see, I mean, from far away you can't really see too many fruits, but once you get close, you're actually starting to look. You'll see there's more. I had one of my viewers ask questions in regards to what to do with their lemons. If you can see here, my friend, I'll show you. This guy doesn't have much thorns, but basically, if you have big thorns, kind of like this Dancing Mandarin, those thorns, I have been told by another gardener friend of mine, they fall off and turn into a new stem. So I promise you, I've seen it many times. It's happened, I promise. That's what happens to these guys and these guys. Because I was worried about this guy having so much thorns and the location that it's in, with my children running around. My youngest is 3 years old. But once I heard that, I was like, yep, leave the thorns alone. They'll turn into stems. And my gosh, it has been. So here's an example I was trying to look for you guys. So this used to be a thorn. Hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, see, that used to be a thorn, kind of like this one here where my thumb is. But that used to be a thorn. And you can see it's just growing another stem, and it's going to turn into like all these other stems all around it. So be patient, stay hopeful, have faith, I promise. That's what they do. All right, so we've got, look how beautiful. I'm gonna put those fruits down there, come back for them later. Look at this, is my pink tiger rose. Such beautiful flowers. I'm trying to trim these up enough, not too much though, because I don't want to lose any buds. Like this one's got a bud on the outside. Unfortunately, these ones had buds left in the inside. But the flowers are just as intoxicating as a blue girl. Look how pretty they are. I sprayed these off with neem oil just a few days ago before we left on a camping trip, and I actually had an update video for you guys with me spraying off the plants, but unfortunately that didn't work out because I needed space on my phone, so I had to delete it. I'm sorry, you guys. But I didn't want to go without saying that video didn't thank anyone, so this video includes my thank you to you guys. Oh, here, you guys, this is a watermelon. I don't know exactly what kind of watermelon, but it's just a volunteer plant decided to grow here, and I had a few of them last season growing just like how this is growing here. And then I just had I had to put them onto that trellis, onto the light system, get the watermelons basically like hanging off of the light system that's there so that they don't touch the ground and I'll have stuff eating them. But yeah. Oh, here's more cilantro. See, you guys, I promise you it's growing. We're just eating them faster than we can grow them. This is arugula. So as you can see here, this raised bed, like I said, it was built the same time as that raised bed, which was, this is going on its 3rd season here in this house. This raised bed has become my seed raised bed. Of all the things that's grown onto here from last like October, November, December, and then it started off with spring, and I put some plants like this arugula into the ground, and it ended up, majority of everything that's in here is just turning into seed. So hopefully I'll be able to show you guys a seed harvesting video where I'll show you how to harvest majority of these seeds. I know that was a big question for me, so I looked onto the web and figured out how to do that. So I'll show you guys. If you guys are interested, let me know in the comments below. But you'll see here, I have pictures of these amazing spinach that are so delicious on Facebook. If you guys want to take a look at that, I had like leaves the size of my face, which was so awesome and amazing, and my kids love all these. But you can see they're turning into seeds. So I'll show you guys when that happens and how we will be collecting those seeds, so you guys can have seeds forever and never have to buy seeds ever again. You buy the first plant, and from there moving forward, you will have seeds and never have to buy any other seeds unless you need new different plants. You'll see here I've got the onions. This is my bunching onions, and this one bolted like crazy. You can see all the flowers that were in it. You can see here, I'll show you guys. So they started off like this. This is a bud, and this is a flower that bud bloomed into. That flower has like little like yellow things on it, and then eventually once those fall off, they look like this. And then on the next video, on the next video, I'll show you guys how to harvest from there, what to do from here, basically, you guys. I have a video coming up that has that example of what to do with these guys, and as well, I'll show you guys a quick recipe on one of the things that I cook these bunching onions with. This is similar to this is basically green onions. All right, moving behind here, I've got, these are peas, green peas, which I initially thought I was growing snap peas, sugar snap peas, and unfortunately I grabbed the wrong seed packet, which is okay. But these has the seed pods that are in there. As you can see, I've got one seed pod there turning yellow, which will probably turn brown and then become seeds for me as well for this year. But this is a seed pod. Eventually it'll have, oh, I'm trying to reach it. I don't know if you guys can see it way back there, but it's got some peas in there. You open up the peas, and they're peas in a pod, and they're so delicious, nice and sweet. Here, I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys this one right here. Sorry, I'm one-handed. But yeah. Oh yeah. They're kind of tiny, but they are really, really delicious. There you go. These are sweet peas. Like I said, they're yum. Just throw that in there just like that. Whoops. I meant to drop that in the soil. Sorry. I'll just compost on its own. Anyway, as you can see, my jungle of seeds here. Got that pepper. It started growing. It's a volunteer pepper. It died off because it was too cold. And now it's just chilling there. Not sure what to do with it. But you'll see the kale is here, more kale. And this is the bok choy I got from California. And as well, it's turning into seed. Nothing's happened with it yet, but you'll see this one, similar bok choy. I think it didn't do well because these are supposed to turn into seeds. But as well, it's the middle of the summer, and this typically doesn't happen until the winter. So it's way too early. As you can see here, I'm like smashing what's supposed to be the seed pods. However, nothing's in there. So it's okay. I'm just going to probably remove him maybe tomorrow and let him compost. If it grows more plants, that's okay too. So here we've got more of the Swiss chard. The Swiss chard is flowering as well. And with those flowers, it'll turn into seeds. More seeds for me to grow more Swiss chard in the future. Got more sweet peas growing there. These sweet peas have fallen from, oh, look at that. So as you can see, the sweet peas, they came from the same seed bag, but they came with 3 different colors, which is so pretty, as you can see there. If you guys are wondering what this is carrots. So there was a carrot that was left into this raised bed that we were growing last season. Pulled them out of the ground. They're pretty short carrots, about that long, short, however you want to say that. But I didn't know he was left in the bed. So we realized there was still some growing. I left it, and it turned into this gigantic beauty. And I was cutting it off initially just so I can see the rest of this stuff and give the opportunity to have the bok choy that I had here grow. But when I started seeing these, I was like, oh my gosh, it's turning into flowers. And I knew those flowers were going to turn out to be something amazing. You'll see. It's got some ants there. They probably like the nectar. Anyway, the flowers turn into that. And then from that, they turn into this. And then I will show you guys a future video of how to harvest those seeds. It's very easy. All right, moving over this way, we've got our Arabian jasmines. Arabian jasmines, these 2 here I bought from Star Nursery locally here in Las Vegas. However, if you see this one here, this guy I grew from my plants I had in my old house. I had a plant giveaway on Facebook long time ago. I don't know how everybody else is doing with their plants that I gave away, but I did basically, I propagated these. These were my first propagations. They did really well. I probably had about like 5, 6 different plants that I gave away. This is one of them, the 6, and as you can see, it's grown crazy. So definitely looking forward to fertilizing these. As you can see, they're kind of turning yellowish, which is typically a sign that they need a little bit more iron. And I actually use a chelated iron, similar to what you use for the citrus plants when they have these weird kind of yellow leaves with green vines. Typically a sign that they're not getting the iron content that they need. But you can see they're still doing great. Got some flowers. My mother-in-law loves these guys. That's why I grew them. She used to just have a pot that she'd buy from like Home Depot or something, leave them inside and water them until they die. So I decided once we moved in with her, we like basically lived together, I was going to grow them for her. So now we've got these plants. I've got another plant outside over there, and once these guys are in full bloom, there's like 100 flowers all over here. And she'll harvest them and put them in little cups and put them in front of Mama Mary while she prays. And they smell amazing. All right, so moving forward, these are our red raspberries here. And as you can see, they're doing really, really well. It's got some fruits. Looking forward to those. And there's like fruits everywhere. But this was a baby plant, kind of like how you had the golden, how you guys seen the golden raspberries earlier. You can see, I didn't realize how invasive these guys are. They're just like literally growing roots everywhere. And you'll see kind of like in the wall against there. And they're just growing new plants, which I am going to try one day, and pulling those, kind of like the aloe vera, pulling the plants with a little bit of roots and hopefully trying to grow them in a pot. Maybe that'll be another giveaway for you guys. So if you haven't followed me on Facebook yet, please do so, because if I'm doing plants, I'm giving away, I'm doing seed giveaways on YouTube, but Facebook, I'll more likely do like a local giveaway. So follow me on both. I appreciate it, you guys. These are my peas. And it's growing on this trellis. I don't know if you guys noticed. This is a tomato trellis. If it never does well, comment below, you guys, if you're a gardener and you've dealt with these trellises. They're tomato trellises. Majority of people buy all the time, every year. And it doesn't do anything. So I decided to put them upside down, as you can see here. Put them upside down. It started crawling like crazy, like this one here. And then there's that one that has like 4 plants on it. And now, as you can see here, it's got some flowers. So those are green beans that's growing on that tomato trellis that's upside down. And these were volunteer beans, by the way. I was growing them just like that guy's growing there. I grew them last season. I didn't realize there were some of the vines that still had pods in them with seeds, and I put them here to compost and use as mulch. Probably not that good of an idea, but this is what I get, our volunteer green beans all over this garden area here. But you know what? Green beans are actually good to induce nitrogen in the area. So that's why I decided, you know what? We'll go with it. Let them grow. Make this soil rich for us for future plants, right? Here I've got my strawberries. We're starting to get more flowers again. And I believe it's just because we were kind of cool. They were growing just a lot of foliage for the longest, but you'll see beyond the foliage, got more stuff growing and flowers like those. Got some growing down here as well. I believe that should be a flower. These ones are the smaller variety. I believe they're the Albion strawberries. We bought these at Star Nursery as well. That's where one of my favorite places to go to. Yay, look it! Oh my god! Yahoo! But they do taste delicious. Something about your own things that you grow that taste so much more better than the store stuff, you guys. If you are a first-time gardener, or if you are new at all this stuff, just watching my stuff to even consider gardening, I promise you it's so rewarding. Look at you guys. This is another zucchini from the 6-pack that I had. But like I said, they taste so good. Feels so rewarding. And to just eat that and show your family what you've grown, it's a great feeling. Going over here, we've got my mint, which we've done a lot more with. I use this mint a lot. So I do spring rolls, Asian spring rolls with rice wrapper. But I add these mint. This is a spearmint. And so you can see there's a big old patch in the middle there. That's only because I pulled them and I made stuff with them. So I do that. What else have I made with this? We ate lop the other day. Lop not only has the cilantro, but it also, I put mint in it. I put a little bit of the green onions, chopped green onions in there. I can show you guys a video on the recipe for that. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see it. But I did do a spring roll video, so I'm still editing that. So I'll keep you guys posted. There's more zucchini here, but oh, that's what I was going to say. You can see there's a big patch of mint here, and I pull them versus just like regularly cutting them or whatever. The only reason why I do that, as you can see, they're so invasive. They grow like crazy. So I don't have any worry whatsoever of them growing back, because as you can see there, they grow everywhere else. And I know it gets on a lot of people's nerves. I'm okay with it, to be honest. When I see them in places I don't want them in, I just pull it. I'm here often enough. I know not a lot of people can say that, but that's what I do. We've got the corn growing here. We'll see what happens with that. This is my first year growing corn, and basically that's my method, is put it in the ground and learn from it. If it grows, it grows. If it doesn't, we'll learn. I've got 6 of those that came from the 6-pack that I had. Another zucchini that came from the 6-pack that I had. As you can see here, that one's not doing well. So when I see these, I just twist it off and allow the plant to give more power to that guy. See, we've got that right there, still growing well. Zucchinis for days, you guys. We had brought there was 3 zucchinis that I had growing here before our camping trip. We brought them to our camping trip, and I added them into these bulgogi wontons that we buy from Costco. They were just on sale, so they were only like $8 or whatever. So I cooked those onto the frying pan, and then I dumped chopped zucchinis on top of them. And so we had a dinner with just that. It was amazing. That and rice. I'm Filipino. We always have to have rice. There you go. More corn. We'll see what happens with those ears. The beans sprouting. I've got marigold seeds growing everywhere. I compost a lot of stuff, so there's a possibility that within those composts, maybe some of the seeds from the other flowers have escaped. And now they're growing in my garden, which is okay. Marigolds are good. So I've got celery growing here. This guy may need to be staked because he came out. It's gonna be windy, they said, on like Saturday, Sunday here in Las Vegas, so I might need to stake majority of the trellises like those ones there. But there's the celery. So as you can see, the celery is going crazy. I haven't really had much big stalks from it. That's probably as big as it gets for me right now, only because you can see here, that's big, medium, medium, small, extra small. And the reason for that is because I deadheaded these guys. I deadheaded them instead of waiting for the stalks because I couldn't wait any longer. I juice these and drink it on its own once every other day if I can, if I remember, before I eat anything else. And it's really good for my digestive system. I have issues with heartburn, and this celery juice helps me. So, but you can see there's a lot of hope for these guys growing here in this area. Mind you, like I said, I deadheaded it and it was like nothing. And here it grows like this to this, that, and look at that, baby. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll have enough patience to wait for stalks to grow on these guys. Maybe I'll leave one day, allow it to turn into a stalk. But I mean, when I juice the leaves as well as a stalk. Even when I buy celery from the store, that's what I do. But on these leaves, you can even chop them off. If you want to wait for stalk, you can chop off the leaves, and the leaves can be added into salads, which is great. Or you can cook them just the way it is, and they'll taste just like how you would put celery stalk into like your soups or your stews or whatever. Anyway, so that is that for the backyard.